So now we are going to look at some examples, but don't forget the reason why we're looking at this differential calculus and integral calculus is in our next module, we are going to see it when we get to inventory model. How do we deploy differential calculus principle to generate the economic order quantity that will minimize the inventory cost. So if you don't understand this principle, also it will be very difficult. That is also another area of application. Then also when we get to nonlinear programming, you will see how we are deploying the differential calculus to be able to solve a nonlinear programming problem. So if you don't understand this basis, that's why we are reviewing differential calculus and integral calculus. Then we are not able to also proceed and understand the concept when we get to inventory models and the non-linear programming model. So like I told you, we are not really going to focus on the application part. We just really want to use this module to understand how do we differentiate from first principle. Then when we get to inventory models module, then you see how we apply this differentiation principle in inventory management to arrive at the EOQ formula. Then also when we get to nonlinear programming, you see how we are applying differential calculus and integral calculus to solve a nonlinear programming problem. So but this is more of like you understand the science of how to differentiate and integrate, which you are going to apply in the later module. I think it's supposed to be very clear. So now we have the first way that we can differentiate is you differentiating from first principle. So I'm going to give you some rules of how to differentiate from first principle. So the first mathematical function that you can have, because we are differentiating mathematical function, is what we call y equal to x raised to power n. So if you want to differentiate y equal to x raised to power n, that means I want to differentiate this variable y with respect to variable x. So I'm looking for the y dx. So if I'm going to differentiate y with respect to x, which is dy dx, the way we differentiate it is to multiply this, the power of x, which is n, you multiply by the coefficient of this x raised to power n. The coefficient of x raised to power n is 1 because x raised to power n is 1xn. So 1x raised to power n. So the coefficient of x raised to power n is 1. So you multiply this power, which is n, then you multiply by the coefficient of x raised to power n, which is 1, then you multiply the result with the initial function of this right hand side, which is x raised to power n. So when you do that, that means differentiation of dy dx for any simple mathematical function like this is mx raised to power n. So let me give you an example just for you to understand. If the mathematical function had been y equal to x raised to power 2, so what we are saying is if we have this mathematical function to differentiate y with respect to x, which is dy dx, that will give you multiply the power there, which is 2, you multiply by the coefficient of x squared, which is 1, then you now multiply that, sorry, this is supposed to be x to the power n minus 1. You subtract that n, you subtract 1 from it. Please let's note that. So let me just repeat that. You multiply this, the power of, you multiply the power of x, which is n, you multiply by the coefficient of x raised to power n, which is 1, so that is n times 1. Then you bring back your mathematical function, which is x raised to power n, then you subtract that power from 1. So please let's note that, and that means when you do that, when you simplify this will give you n x raised to power n minus 1. So that is the mathematical function. So applying this principle, if you want to differentiate y equal to x raised to power 2, that will give you what is the power of x raised to power 2, that is 2. You multiply by the coefficient of x squared, which is 1, so that is 2 times 1. Then you bring back the mathematical function, which is x raised to power 2, then you subtract 1 from it based on that principle, and that will give you dy dx, which is the differentiation of this mathematical function, is what? 2x raised to power 2 minus 1, which is this. Then dy dx will give you, your dy dx will give you, 2x raised to power 1, and that dy dx will become 2x raised to power 1, which is what? 2x, because x raised to power 1 is 1. So that will give you 2x. So that is how you differentiate y equal to x squared. So I'm just trying to give you an example of how to differentiate so that you understand, because for any mathematical function that follows this format, you need to differentiate using this principle. So I think it's supposed to be very clear, so let me wipe this off. So another way of differentiating, another mathematical function that you can have and how you differentiate it, your mathematical function can be an exponential function. So if your mathematical function is an exponential function, which is e raised power nx, how do you differentiate it? So if your mathematical function, don't forget this is a pure mathematical function, and the principle to differentiate is to use this approach. So but if your mathematical function is an exponential function, how do you differentiate? So to differentiate it, your dy dx will give you e raised power nx. If you want to differentiate that, the way we differentiate is to look at the power. You try to look at the power of the exponential function, which is nx. Don't forget the power is nx. So you take that nx and you try to differentiate this nx. So the way we do it is look at the value in the power, which is nx, then try to differentiate nx using the way of differentiating y equal to x raised power n. So you need to use the principle that I've used to differentiate the first example, which is the first mathematical function, to differentiate the power variable of the exponential function. So I want to differentiate nx, so that means I'm trying to differentiate nx using this principle that I've explained earlier. If you follow that, that means I want to differentiate nx raised power 1, and that will give me 1 times, don't forget, using the principle I've explained in example 1, if I want to differentiate nx, that is nx raised power 1, so that means I need to multiply this 1, the power which is 1, then I multiply it with the coefficient of x raised power 1, which is n, so that will give me n. That will be 1 times n, then raised power your x, you take your x back, because don't forget you are looking at the mathematical function, this x raised power 1, you bring it back, then you subtract it from 1, using this principle that I've explained in the first example. So that's how we differentiate your nx. So when you differentiate that, that will give you nx raised to power 0, then anything raised by 0 from indices, x raised by 0 equal to 1. Anything raised by 0 is 1, and that will give you n times 1, and that will give you what? N. So that means when you differentiate e raised by nx, what we are trying to do is take the power in the exponential, differentiate it using our normal differentiation of the mathematical function that I've explained in the first example, and any result you get, which is that any result that you get is what you put back here. You put it here. So any result you get for your differentiation of your power of the exponential is what you put down. Then you multiply it with the initial exponential function, which is e raised power nx. So that means when you differentiate an exponential function, this is the principle you need to use to differentiate it. I hope it's very clear. So then the third one, let me just quickly mention that. So the third one is if y is a constant. If y is a constant, how do you differentiate that? So to differentiate a constant, which is y equal to a constant, when we say constant are just the numbers, the real numbers. It can be 2, 3, 4, 2.5, 6.5, any real number. So if you have y to be a number, which is a constant. So how do you differentiate that? To differentiate that, you want to get your dy dx. So when you have y to be a constant, a real number, or a number with a fraction, when you differentiate it, differentiation of a constant, please note it always gives you 0. So your dy dx equal to what? 0. So when you differentiate a constant, note that the dy with respect to dx will give you 0. So those are the rules that we have, which are the 3 rules of differentiating mathematical function. And any kind of mathematical function that you're going to have for the behavior of a scenario could be a combination. It can either be a pure mathematical function or an exponential function, or a combination of a mathematical function that is a combination of pure mathematical function, exponential function, and what? A constant. So to differentiate each of these, pure mathematical function, exponential function, or a constant in a mathematical equation that you want to differentiate, you need to use all these principles of differentiation that I've explained now. So I'll give you some examples that have some examples of mathematical function that has this kind of mathematical behavior. Then we'll try to differentiate it using any of these principles, depending on which mathematical function is given that talks to any of this concept of differentiating mathematical function.